it's crazy to think how quickly, had Ellie died, it would have been the same situation as what Henry did when Sam died. Joel would have no reason to live, and we all are just trying to survive here. So it's a perfectly told story. The adaptation really is so pleasing. And as kind of a final part of our episode, I'm just running a little longer than our usual What the Hype episodes, but the question I have for you guys is, looking ahead, we know that from a non-spoiler sense, the actions and consequences of the events of the first season will be explored in the second season. Can we see the show still doing things that are, let's say, fun and explorations of love and kind of time out of time kind of backstory things? How do we think the show will change in the coming season based on the story that has to get told?
I think there's actually a lot of opportunity to dive into some more backstories for some of the characters that we're going to be introduced to.
A lot more characters.
Huh?
I said a lot more characters.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, again, it's new characters, but they are all fully fleshed out and really well written, so they don't feel like throwaways. And we also spend a lot more time in Jackson. So I think there is going to be room for that duality of like, we live in this extremely volatile world, but we're also like trying to maintain a society here. And there's some levity that comes with that sometimes. I think we'll get that more towards the beginning. I think we are going to move from sort of a first season that was very much themed around the right thing to do. Like, is it one for all or all for one? And I think in this season, we're going to see a lot more thematically around vengeance and revenge and what that can look like in this world and the lengths that people will go to get that.
Makes sense.
Right. Season 2, we can expect to be, oh no, it's the consequences of my actions.
Yep.
The season.
Yeah.
And
well.
I agree with Laura. I think we're going to get what we expect, which is the game to be adapted magnificently as season 1 was. But I think on the same page, we can expect that Mazin and Druckmann, and they brought on one of the other writers from the Last of Us 2 game. I can't remember her name
Hallie
at the
Gross.
moment.
Yes. Okay, that's great.
Yeah,
they brought her on to write a couple of episodes along with Druckmann and Mazin too. And so they're going to come up with new things. And what those new things are, I'm excited to see.
I think really going back through season 1 and talking about it on this episode has really inspired me, because these are ultimately writers and showrunners that I trust. And I may not have any clue exactly how they're going to do what it is they have to do, but I think based on, if season 1 is anything, I agreed with every choice, much as I was surprised by it. I was like, this is so cool what they're doing. So gotta give a lot of warm feelings and points to this creative team for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, with that said, want to shout out again, the very next episode of this show that we're going to be doing for The Last of Us is a spoiler-filled talk about the events of Last of Us Part 2 game, and we will be using that to inform and speculate spoilery what this season will include, contain, be about, and all that other stuff, just in a spoiler standpoint. So, if you don't care, I know I like to spoil myself about stuff. Or if you're already familiar with some of the larger plot points, feel free to tune in. But if you do care and want to live it weekly with us during the season, skip the next episode and then find us on Sunday nights after the airing. We'll be doing it live. And I'm looking really forward to the three of us and some other guests maybe talking about what the new season brings, because as much as we might speculate, spoilery or no spoilery, I bet we still don't have a damn clue.
I think they're still going to surprise us. Like, I just anticipate a very faithful adaptation with some very pleasant surprises. So,
Right. I mean, as both Laura and I have said, our favorite episode of this season was the episode that was completely fabricated for the show. It didn't exist in the game. And so I hope to have, yes, I want those fan servicey moments of that was like in the game, but also that wasn't like in the game and I loved it. And I expect to be really pleased with that.
Have I not said what my favorite episode of the season is? I guess it's that one too. That's easy. There we go. We're unanimous.
Look at
Okay.
us.
Yeah, look
Cute.
at us. Well, thank you to everyone who listened and tuned in and listened live. This is a new, exciting, fun thing for me for What the Hype to be live. Don't forget also to follow us in your favorite podcast app. Leave us a review. Those still make us smile very, very much. And we want to know what you think about the show and the various properties that we cover. Follow us on social media. We are on What the Hype Podcast at YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch. We are What the Hype Show on X, and our website is whatthehypepodcast.com. If you want to email us, which might come into play during the season especially, whatthehypepodcast@gmail.com. And, you know, if you have a friend who needs either convincing of why season 1 was awesome, or somebody who wants a companion for this upcoming season, in addition to the official Last of Us podcast, send them our way. Tell them there's some fun people who made the show talking about it, and there's some fun people who had nothing to do with the making of the show, but everything to do with the loving of the show, also talking about it here on What the Hype. That's our commitment to you all. Thank you. Also to co-host, thank you to Laura. Thank you to Chelsea.
Aw, thanks so much for leading this, Eric. I know this is a huge fandom to be leading, and I'm so excited to be on the ride with you. I love the discussion we had today. It's made me even more hype for season 2. As a matter of fact, we're double booked tonight. We are actually recording both of these episodes.
I
back
can't
to back.
wait to get in the spoiler territory with you all.
Yes, it's time.
At last.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on What the Hype. And I'm looking forward to talking some more in just a moment, but also here in a couple of weeks on April 13th.
And all the episodes that Chelsea and I did for season 1 were a podcast called Thank You for Sporing, which is also on YouTube where you're watching this. So check that out. And it's an audio feed. We'll put it all in the show notes. Thank you all for listening again. That's the hype about season 1 of The Last of Us.